Hello, and thanks for tuning in. Today, I am joined by one of my dear friends, students, and member of my coaching community, Sophie Hunter of Sophie Hunter Photography. And we're giving you 10 engaging content ideas that you can literally dive into this week to show up, stand out, and attract your dream clients in your business. Sophie is a Dallas-based branding photographer, content strategist, and creative enthusiast who makes content creation fun, effortless, and effective. Trust me, I love creating content with Sophie. We've created content together in Nashville, Dallas, and Orlando at my brand photography retreat. And she truly believes that marketing your business should not feel like a chore. I 100% agree. So get ready to tune in for expert tips, real talk, and a ton of inspiration to level you up with your content game. And go grab your notebook or Google Doc because you are going to want to write these down. Hello, and welcome back. We've got my girl, Sophie. Hey, friend.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me to your
Oh my
podcast.
gosh. Absolutely. I wanted to talk. I'm literally at the time of this recording, I'm a couple days away from my next brand photography retreat.
I'm
And
so sad I'm not there.
oh my gosh, I wish you were coming. I wish you were coming so you could like be my content creator and shoot for me. Maybe next time. But
Yes.
I thought of you for this topic. We're talking about really just like engaging content ideas that entrepreneurs can do now. Like they don't have to plan a ton. Like they can literally pull up their phone or a camera or whatever and just start creating content because action, like you taking that action will create the clarity. Like if you actually take the first step, it will create
Yes.
what you're thinking of doing. And so I brought you on because you are the content creation queen. Like not only are you a brand photographer, but like you are this content strategist. And I peeped it early, like early when you got to my community. I was like, oh, Sophie's got like so much going on for her. And so you not only do brand photography, but you create content for your clients. Tell us
I
like how
do.
you got into that.
Okay, so I I remember when Reels first came out, I was so anti-Reels. I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to add it to my thing of list of things to do because I thought as a photographer, I'm like, I just want to shoot. But
Right.
creating content was just an extension of just creating, period.
Yeah.
And when I started to find all the tips and tricks on just how to create and how to make it work for me and include like the fun parts of it, it
Yeah.
just became even more of something that I enjoyed actually doing. And I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. Well, why am I not doing this for my clients as well? Because
Right.
video is so important these days with social media.
Mhm.
So I love the fact that I can offer photography along with content creating.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And when you came to the retreat, you had this cute little what is it called? I keep calling it
my
something else.
DJ Osmo. Why don't I have it around me? But
I
yes, I
kept
have a
calling it a
DJ Osmo.
I think I kept calling it a gizmo or something like.
Yes.
And the way, I mean, so you had your camera, you had your phone,
Yes.
you have this Osmo, and I'm like, the girl is just a content creation queen. And like you think of things that are just so strategic. And so like I said, I wanted to bring you in this conversation to talk about engaging ideas that we as entrepreneurs can be creating quickly because people will sit on some ideas, they'll sit on the fear, the anxiety, whatever. And I'm just like, go create something, do something right now. So I thought it would be fun to just spit out 10 ideas and we can go back and forth, make this very like fun.
Yeah.
I'll give some ideas, you give some ideas. So let's kick it off. So I'm going to say number one, we both are bringing 5 to the table. I'm going to say number one, Instagram story Q&A.
Yes.
Very easy. I do this at least twice per week. You literally tell your audience, hey, I want to do some Q&A, drop your little question here, put the little, tag there and they can type in their question and just pull photos, videos or whatever from your camera roll or do like a talking head video and answer the question. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
I'll do this and I usually, because I take so much content, I usually have a relevant video or a photo to go with the answer. And someone messaged me the other day. She was like, how do you have a video for every single answer? And I'm like, because I create content. It's just
Yes. You're constantly recording.
So if you're in an industry where you should be providing value to your audience, which is literally every industry,
Everyone. Mm-hmm.
yeah, just get on a consistent basis.
Q&As will also help you get out of your headspace of like, what should I talk about? I don't know what to talk about.
Exactly.
Ask your audience. Your
Yeah.
audience wants to know certain things. And then they could be like, hey, how do you do X, Y, Z? And then it's like,
Hmm.
oh, you don't know that? I know this. Let me share this
Yeah.
with you, kind of thing, you know? So
Yeah.
it's a good way to just start building up ideas on topics to talk about with your audience.
Yes. And here's a hack. I have a Notion template where I keep all of my content ideas. Every question that comes in, whether it's an Instagram Q&A, a Facebook group question, an email, a DM, every question, copy and paste, copy and paste. And I have a list of like 200 plus questions. And I'm
I
like,
love
okay,
that.
this is a podcast idea. This is an Instagram, real idea. This is like you said, you're getting so much information from your ideal client on what they need help with, and it's going to help you to create even more content.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I had to learn is that not everybody knows what you know. Things
Mm,
that are so easy to you that come across that are just like, ding, you should know this too. And then you're like, wait a minute, not everybody is in your brain. Not everybody knows this type of stuff. So even if it's the simplest thing that you can think of, there's
mhm.
somebody out there that doesn't know it and that's going to appreciate you talking about it.
Absolutely. And this builds relationships too, because people see that you've taken the time to answer their question. They're going to see you as this thought leader, see you as the authority in whatever that topic is. So the more that you're consistent with that, the better the questions are going to get,
Yeah.
the better you reach like those exact ideal clients that you're trying to work with. So this is a big one for me. Very easy.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be pretty, just answering questions and your stories.
There you go. Love that
Okay.
one.
What you got? Number two.
Okay. I am a person that loves a good challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Challenges for me are one of those things that will keep me on track. So you could do a challenge or you could do a series. Really, it's just a way of you thinking, okay, how can I create and keep myself accountable? I did this
Yeah.
challenge last year, which was a 14-day talking head challenge.
Yes.
I do not enjoy talking in front of the camera, which is crazy because I'm doing it right now. But I had to like really challenge myself to just be in front of the camera and just talk about random stuff. I talked about
Hmm.
my business. I talked about what I was shooting that day. I was talking about even the rough parts of creating content.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just have to be real too. It doesn't always have to be polished. And I love that you
Hmm.
said that about that Q&A. It doesn't have to be polished. People
Yeah.
don't want to see buttoned up all the time because it's not reality, you know?
Right.
So
Right.
give yourself a challenge, even if it's like I'm challenging myself to create at least 2 reels a week, you know,
Hmm.
and or do a series. I love a good series because then it gives your audience something to look forward to. They're going to be like, oh, okay, day one of how to pose in a chair. Day two,
Yeah.
how to pose sitting on the ground. How to
Hmm.
pose with a prop in your hand. This is something that you can give your audience and they're going to always want to keep coming to see what you got next. So
Yeah.
challenge yourself or create a series.
I love that. I feel like I've done that a couple different times. Some of them were, like you said, for you, like I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to push myself to be on video more. Some of them were kind of to nurture an audience to an upcoming mini session or an offer or something. And so that consistency in letting people know that you're committed to sharing about something and then actually doing it. And they're going to be coming
Yeah,
back like, where's the next post? Where's the next part of
exactly.
the
Give
series?
me more.
Exactly. So I
But I
love
love
that.
that you said that. I didn't even think about that. Sometimes the challenge or the series could be for yourself, and sometimes the
Hmm.
challenge and series could be for other people. Like when I
Yeah.
introduced my challenge, I was trying to, well, not trying, I was inviting other entrepreneurs, other photographers to join with me in the challenge. Like
Ooh,
this is
yeah.
another opportunity to connect with your audience, to build
Yeah.
community, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And when you challenge other people to do it with you, like you said, it just takes it to the next level. I love that.
Exactly.
Okay. Number three, I have, and some people are going to be like, oh, I don't want to do this. And it took me
Me,
some time to do
me.
it. A talking head video. Like
Yeah.
just pull the phone up and talk to the camera. And I challenge you, like some people will do this in Instagram stories. And I'm like, I challenge you to do it in your Instagram reels. And they do it in the
Mm.
stories because it's going to go away in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, well, the 70 people who will see it will see
Baby
it.
steps, Angie,
Right,
baby
right.
steps.
Okay. If you haven't, all right, there's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Levels
You
to everything.
haven't,
Yes.
if you haven't done a talking head video, get in your stories because it'll
Yes.
go away in 24 hours. Talk about something. Talk about the value that you provide, like your zone of genius. Talk about how something, maybe a tutorial or maybe just some line items about a scenario that happened. Just anything that your audience might find interesting, or just tell a story. Literally tell them what happened at your last photo shoot or the last time you worked with this client, or when you're in line at the grocery store. Like, who cares? Just start talking to the camera. I think start with that. If you're already doing that and super comfortable, I would say post those types of content on your reels. I have literally just taken stories that got a lot of feedback and just uploaded them to reels. Like, didn't even re-record them. Literally on my walk, a little sweaty with a hoodie on, and I'm talking about something, and I got a ton of DMs, and I'm like, oh, this is going on my reels because it needs to last longer than 24 hours. So a big tip I have for that is getting in motion. I don't know what it is, but moving while you're talking, I feel like it's a little bit easier. And it might just be me. I don't know. But like, if I'm sitting here and just talking like this with my camera in front of me, I start to get in my head. I start to think, did that make sense? I will start over the video 17 times. Like,
okay, I think I'm going to have to try this because I'm telling you, every time I see you walking and talking, my first thought is like, if I did this, I am going to trip. I am going to fall. I'm going to run into something. It is inevitable that it is just, I'm going to end up looking like a fool. But I didn't think about motion helping you get outside of your head. So that's actually a really good tip. I'm going to have to try that.
I just get so inspired when I'm walking anyway. So I feel like when I pull the camera up, I'm just extending a conversation I'm having with myself almost.
Yeah.
And compared to when I'm sitting down and just talking. I mean, I could do that too. I'll do an Instagram live like that. But if I have to get something out in 30 seconds, I need to be in motion. Either like walking around my house, walking, down a path in my neighborhood or something. I need to be in motion. So if that's just a piece of advice for someone who doesn't like sitting there staring at their phone, like just have your audience walk with you so you feel like you're talking to a friend.
It's a good way to rip off a Band-Aid. Here's my trick when I do talking heads. So I had learned, because like you said, when you're sitting, you're all of a sudden you're re-recording, you're re-stopping and all that stuff. So what I've learned that has worked for me, because, I want to sit still while I'm recording because I don't want to fall. But I'll record all the way through with mishaps and everything, with ums and ahs and everything. If I mess up, I just start over. I just keep talking. I'm not going to start and stop my video. Then I pull it into an editing app and I'm cutting and pasting. Not cutting and pasting. I'm just cutting and deleting.
Slicing it.
I'm just taking out the dead space, taking out the ums and ahs, getting right to the point. That way my video is like from 3 minutes to condensed to a good 60 seconds,
Yes.
So if you're overthinking what you're saying or what you're doing, record it and just know that you can cut out everything that you didn't like.
Yes. And please cut it. Please. Like, as soon as you said that it went from 3 minutes to 60 seconds, I was like, oh, let me write a note in that, because short and sweet, like you said, keep it to the point, because if you're not moving and people are just looking at your screen, unless you've got the most juiciest story that I've ever heard, people are not going to lock in for 3 minutes.
They're not. Exactly. This story better be good. Your voice better be smooth. If not, get to the point, please and thank you.
You know what I'm thinking of? Remember that girl went viral on TikTok, the blank did I marry? Did you ever watch that?
Oh, where she had like 50 plus videos?
Yes. They're all like 10 minutes. And I'm telling you, unless your story is that juicy, do not try the straight.
Did you listen to all of it?
I got through a couple, but I was on like 2x fast. And then people were uploading it to YouTube, and I was like, thank you. Now I can do 7 times fast, because I'm not going to listen to this.
I was looking for the creators that were summarizing it, because I'm that type of person where I'm like, you don't have this much of my time in a day because I have so many other things going on. So think of it like your viewers. They have so many things going. Keep it concise. Keep it short and sweet, like you said.
You're so right, because her videos were like 10 minutes each, but I would rather watch a talking head of someone else truncating it down to 60 seconds. Okay.
There you go.
Cut the fluff. Cut the fluff.
Another idea,
Yeah.
create how-tos. Look, Angie knows this about me. You can tell me to do something, and I will always say, how, Sway? How? Please explain to me the
Uh-huh.
process of how you do something. Everybody loves a good how to. That's why you have so many cooking shows and so many YouTubers where it's just like how to do your settings, how to
Right.
do a pose, how to create content, how
Hmm.
to, use how to find the best light when
Right.
creating
Yes.
photos and creating videos.
Yes.
People want to know how to do it. Keep it short, like
Hmm.
everything is short and sweet, but keep it short in bite-sized pieces so that way people are going to be like, okay, one, two, three, I could do this. If
Right.
you overcomplicate it, no one's going to want to do it. I did a
Yes.
quick how-to on how to use pick, peel, and stick tile
Okay.
to do a background, to use it like
Oh.
a cheap way of like, I needed a bathroom look for a product. So I
Hmm.
just grabbed me some peel and stick tiles, threw that on a foam board, and called it a day. You wouldn't
Right.
have known that that bathroom look was actually in my office.
Yes, yes, and those are the savable posts. When you are
Yes,
showing someone how to do something or giving a tutorial step by step, like those people will save those posts and go back to it and share it. Like when you're creating, we're talking about creating engaging content. That is the
yes,
conversation today. When you want to create engaging content, get people to comment. That's literally what engagement is. Comment,
yeah,
saving,
share.
and sharing. Okay. And so when you do tutorials like that, that is a highly engaging post.
Yeah. I think those are the ones that do the best for a lot
Hmm.
of people because,
Hmm.
like you said, once you get people to start engaging in your post, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whichever platform you use, they're going to know, oh, people like this, they're saving this, they're going to push it out to more and more people,
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
which will,
Absolutely.
bring people to you. So
Exactly.
that's the plus. That's what you want. You don't
Yeah. You
want
want
just
to,
your audience. You
right.
want everybody that you haven't even reached yet.
Exactly. Expand your reach, boost your
Yes.
visibility, all that.
Yes.
So we are number five. Number five, I have showcasing your portfolio in a reel. So taking the photos, the high quality photos. This is a brand photographer speaking. So the high quality photos of your
Please.
portfolio in a reel. So all my photographer friends, yes, post your photos of your clients in a reel. And since I'm talking to Sophie, you know what we like. Put the photos to the beat of
Beat.
the music. Okay? On the beat. The
Please hit
two
the
and the
beat.
four. The
Please.
two and the four. Okay? Not the one and the three. The two and the four.
And
That's
no
a whole other
one. Yes.
discussion. Get it
It
on
oh,
the beat.
it drives me nuts when things don't hit on the beat. Oh my gosh. Yes, please hit on the beat for me. And for
Oh,
Angie, for
girl,
the sake of our
please.
ears.
And if I hear it and I see it, I'm gonna leave a comment like you killed that, like you slayed it. Okay, you feel good about yourself right now. Like I know it's tough, but you took it home. Okay, you took it home. So
I already
showing
know
your
Angie's like
portfolio.
me. We will use the extra 10, 15, 20, 8, even more, just so that we know it's right there on that beat.
Right, right. And if I upload it and for some reason there's like a glitch and it's a half a beat off, I'm like,
Oh.
no, people are gonna think I don't have rhythm.
I swear I could two step. I swear
I'm crying. I'm crying. Anyway, where I was going with this
it.
showcase.
Oh, you're actual tears.
I'm literally oh
This
man.
is like Angie's biggest fear is that people will think that she can't dance on beat.
Oh no. Come see me. See me on the dance floor.
She's gonna have nightmares about this.
I literally do. Oh man. Okay. Like I said, showing your portfolio work in a reel. So your photos of your clients, if you're a photographer, if you're an interior designer, we're seeing photos of the actual spaces that you're designing. If you're a hair and makeup artist, photos of your work. Like photos, I know people love videos on reels, but you can put your
Hmm.
photos in a video. You can
Yes,
don't
yes.
share them and have it be engaging. And those will really pop, especially if you start with like a behind the scenes clip
I
and then
was just
boom,
about to say the
tyrant,
same
tyrant.
thing. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Take a video while you're shooting and stitch it with your photos.
yeah.
So I love using CapCut. Angie knows
Hmm.
I'm just automatically by default when you're exporting your video, it'll do 1080p 30 FPS.
Hmm.
When I stitch videos with photos, I always do it at 50 FPS. The
Mm,
photos look sharper. Just try it. Hear me out.
yeah.
Just try it. It looks so much better when you stitch those two types of things together. And
Ooh.
another thing, when you're also adding video and photos together, your
Hmm.
videos are already in the 916 format. Your
Right, right, right.
photos are not automatically in your
Mm,
916 format. Please
hmm.
do us all a favor. Use all of the space. You have
Space.
all this real estate in
Hmm.
your social media feed. Make sure your photos are also 9 by 16 so that way it all looks good. You don't get that black space above and below
Yeah.
your photos.
Good stuff. Good tip. Good tip. Okay, what you got for us for number 6?
Number 6, collabs and shout outs for growth. Leverage this portion for your social media. I
Yeah.
love a good collab. I love teaming up with people. It's
Hmm.
creating with other people always gets like me amped up even more. You know, when
Yes.
creating by myself, it's just kind of like, and then when I get with somebody, I'm like, yes, let's do all
Yes.
the things.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so not only are you getting those creative juices flowing, you also are expanding your reach. So when
Hmm.
you're collabing with another person, your reel is going to show, Instagram is going to show it to your audience. You collab
Yeah.
with one other person, it's going to showcase it to their audience. And
Exactly.
now Instagram has it to where you can collab with multiple people, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can have like a field day with collaborations and, of course, do it towards your brand, do it towards,
Yeah.
what you offer and stuff like that. And you can do
Right.
it like photographers, great. I collab with photographers all the time, but I
Yeah.
also have collabed with makeup artists, with
Yes.
marketing people, website designers,
Yes.
other creatives. There's so many different people that you can collab with. And
Yeah.
then, even if you're doing like a shout out, I shout out all my clients all the time.
Hmm.
You could
Hmm.
collab with your own clients that you photograph,
Right. Exactly.
there's so many different ways that you can use their engagement with your engagement.
Yeah. I feel like collabing is a cheat code. Is a
Yeah.
real cheat code. Like, especially like you said, if you're posting your clients, you can like if you're posting the highlights of their photo shoot, you can add them as a collab and now that whole shoot is on their Instagram page. Or
Yep.
like even you and I did an Instagram live, last year and we were talking about the different types of tools that we use to create content. That was
Hmm.
super fun. And
Yeah.
really service providers that have similar audiences, that is the cheat code. So especially photographers
Yep.
who are local or any other local service provider, if you can connect with another local service provider and you literally have the same type of audience, same type of audience in the same location, cheat code. That is a cheat code.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. And it's just a
Sure.
fun way to create.
Yeah.
When you had your
Retreat.
content retreat last
Hmm.
year,
Hmm.
and we did the collaboration with all the photographers and stuff
Oh,
like that. Remember
yes.
with the swinging in this,
Yes.
Angie collabed with all of the photographers all night long.
It
Everybody's
was,
notifications were just
oh my God,
going off because it
crazy.
just it just increased the visibility and
Yeah,
reach of our video. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely go out
And
there, find people to collab with, find people that are fun to create with.
yes, absolutely. Because it'll give you more inspiration and you'll kind
Hmm.
of just like vibe back and forth. So, so fun. I love
Yes,
that.
me and Angie
Okay.
always talk about how we want to like. It would be so great if we lived next to each other because we would
Oh
be
my gosh.
producing an insane amount of content for you guys.
I think if you and I were local, like I'm a TikTok consumer, but I don't create that much. I think if you and I were local, we would be viral on TikTok.
Yeah,
Like
same,
of the
same.
amount of content and the quantity and the quality of content that we would putting out there being funny and like helpful, like I feel like we would go viral. And I say that so many times, I'm like, if I just had another friend here that I could create content with, I could probably go viral on TikTok.
You just
Not that that's the
duplicate
goal,
you.
but it would be fun.
Yeah, Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's move on to
Number
number
7.
7. Okay, another one that people are gonna be like, "Ugh," but Angie, I say go live on Instagram. Go live. And I know that scares a lot of people, but
Yes.
the
It's
the
me.
more you do it, the easier it gets. And just come prepared. So announce to your audience, hey, I'm going live on this day at this time. Like announce it so that people will be there. At least one person will be great.
Yes.
And if not, if no one's there, it's totally okay because you can save it and repurpose it in another way. You can upload it as, cut it up very in small pieces and make it a series on Instagram Reels. You can upload it to YouTube. You can, if you have a podcast, I've had so many Instagram lives I thought were good. And I'm like, I'm going to upload that to my computer and make it an actual podcast and put an introduction on it. Nobody will know the difference. Like,
That's genius. I didn't even think about like you could do that. That is actually a genius idea.
girl, like my last three podcast episodes were probably Instagram lives repurposed. And you can tell because it sounds like I'm talking to someone, like it
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
like much more like natural and authentic. So announce to your audience, prep ahead of time. I like to do it in front of a window, of course, for good light. And then I'll put Post-it notes on the window with like little bullet points to kind of remember the things that I want to
Smart.
be talking about. Maybe I have a call to action. Maybe I have a mini chat word that will trigger an auto response. So I need to put that there. And then last step for that is to just have a topic in mind or questions to answer. So either
Yeah.
come there doing Q&A with questions that are already written down for you that you can be answering live, or you can have yourself answering them live on the call with people there, or just have a topic and you're going to say, okay, I don't know if anybody's going to come to this, but I'm going to get on live and do 5 minutes about the 3 ways to XYZ and just talk to it. And then in the live and you're done. Like nothing happened. It's still
Here's
alive.
my cheat code for going live, because
Okay.
Angie pushes us to do this. And I
Yep.
appreciate the push, but I still get nervous. But my biggest cheat code for going live is going live with somebody else. So that way I actually have another person to talk to. And
Yeah,
then it doesn't even matter who comes or not because I don't feel
exactly.
alone.
Exactly. You're
So
not alone.
you're not alone. Find someone that if this is your first live, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. Find somebody that you can have a back and forth conversation with, and then you
Yeah.
won't feel so awkward because you're actually talking to somebody. But
Right.
I am going to go live one day with just me, myself, and I. Don't know
You
when. Stay
can.
tuned.
You can do it. And let me know, and I'll be in the comments hyping you
There you
up,
go.
asking questions. Okay,
So that
you're up
I'm
with
not
number
alone.
8.
All right.
You're up with number 8.
Number 8, hopping
Yeah.
on trending audios and trending concepts. I love this. This is a great way of like, okay, if you don't know what to post, you know, spend a couple of minutes scrolling. Don't go too far because we all can doom scroll if we get too lost into it. But find
Uh-huh.
something that resonates with you, that has entertained you in one way or the other, and try to reduplicate it that matches not only your personality, but that
Yeah.
showcases your brand as well. The idea is not to like copy exactly what that other person does. It's
Mm-hmm.
just going to give you inspiration to create with it. Trending
Right.
audios, I love a good trending audio before
Yeah.
they kill it to death. But
Yes.
you can use you can
Like
use trending.
anxiety audio right
Oh
now is
my
like
gosh, if I hear that song one more time, it's going to give me anxiety. It just drives me insane. Goodness. Um, so you can use trending audios to showcase
Mhm.
your portfolio. You can use trending audios in the background with your talking heads. You can
Right.
use trending audios on just stills, like even on
Yeah.
carousels.
Yep.
There's so
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
ways that you can use trending audios. And, but yeah, just take some time to do a little scroll. Give yourself a time block so that way you don't get lost into the doom scroll, and then just pick something. Just pick
Yeah.
something
Pick
and make
something.
it easy.
And
Yes.
Instagram has made it so much easier because you used to have to like go to somebody's profile, click on the little arrow, and then find what's trending. Now, when you make a reel, they've got the arrow right there, and they're like, "Here's what's trending." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yep.
thank you. You just saved me
Yes.
15 minutes of scrolling. Now I can just
Yes.
see what's in alignment with the video with the B-roll that I have. Thank you."
Yeah. And then sometimes you might not be able to create right then and there. Save
Yeah.
those to a folder in Instagram, create
Hmm.
them later.
Right.
There's been times where I will just stack them up and then try to record as many as I can. And,
Yeah.
some of them involve like I said, the trending audio or a concept, some of them are just like voiceovers. I love a
Mm-hmm.
good voiceover that's funny,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
that is also relatable to my business. So
Right.
everything
Mm-hmm.
point back to your business.
Right. Yeah. That's another cheat code. Let somebody give you their idea and you just run with it.
Yeah.
It's another cheat code.
Right,
Okay. Awesome.
exactly.
Number 9, I have a time lapse. And this is the first type of, I feel, B-roll content that I created when I started posting reels because it was just so easy. I didn't have to
Easy.
think. I just set my phone up and I'm actually getting ready to do it right now. You know what? Let me put my phone up and press record. And I have a little tripod over here. There we go. It's pointing at us. Put your phone on a tripod or a chair or a table or a windowsill or anything and just press record. You can either immediately start doing a time lapse. So in your phone, there will be an option for time lapse and it'll
Yeah.
just speed up whatever you're doing. I've done this with editing photos on my computer, which is really cool because you can show a 30-minute editing session in 30 seconds. So something like that, or maybe you setting up your equipment or you doing somebody's hair and makeup or styling someone or designing a website, whatever your industry is, just record something. So there's 2 ways to do time lapse. One, you can press the time lapse button and it'll record that fast pace. Or just right now, what I'm doing is I just put my phone up on the tripod and I press record. So I have the actual real footage in time, but I can upload it to CapCut or Reels or something and then speed it up
Speed
there.
it
So I
up.
have options.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 A
That's
good
so
one is
awesome.
like doing your branding shoots. I
Mm-hmm.
did one for like headshots. Headshots, people are coming in and out, in and out, in and out. This is a great way
Yes.
of showing how you're like
Yes.
smoothly getting people in and out to the next person. So yeah, showcase your
Absolutely.
work. Easiest,
Absolutely.
easiest piece of content to do is your
Easy.
time lapse. Yes.
Easy. And I feel like this is the perfect segue into what you have for number 10.
Yes. Behind the scenes. Show people what you're doing and how you do it, please.
Yeah.
Because
Please.
please and thank you, because it's like it just gives insight to how you create. It gives
Mm-hmm.
insight of how you do your business, you know, the editing stuff. Like you were talking about the time lapse, if you slow things down and you want to show people how you edit, or even doing like a light setup, what kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
lights do you show, you know, that you're using and stuff like that, or how you're posing somebody, like all this stuff. You could literally just put your tripod there and record what you're doing. Just remember to bring the tripod with you. Oh,
Yes.
nothing's worse than coming back to your camera. You're like, dang it, I forgot to move it. Now I got 10 minutes of just a dead space of whatnot.
Oh my
But
gosh. I've done
yeah,
that so many times now that you say it. Like I get in the groove of the shoot and I have the
yes.
perfect angle and then we move and I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to get this B-roll. Like this is going to be so good." I'm like, "Dang, the camera is all the way on the other side and it doesn't show anything."
The good thing about using the DJI Osmo is that it face tracks. So it moves
Mm,
with you. So you can
yeah,
actually set that up in the corner, face track it on your face. And while you're doing and moving and stuff like that, it's an afterthought. Don't worry, your camera is also following you. Or you
exactly.
can put your phone on your camera. And then it
Mhm.
just get the BTS of you
Yeah,
doing your photos.
I love
So
it.
there's so many different ways that you can show people how you work. And it just makes it look like they have their own POV of how you do what you do.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. So those were
Yeah.
our 10. This was really good. I feel like
Yay!
I got inspired. I feel like I've gotten some ideas after our chat. So, in any like final thoughts, like if we could speak to maybe some mistakes that we can kind of call out that entrepreneurs can probably be thinking
Mm,
of next time. Do you have any
yes.
mistakes?
I am guilty of this. Biggest mistake is overcomplicating the process.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Keep it
Like
simple.
sometimes you see things and you're like, oh, I want to do this so bad.
Yeah.
But then you're just like, you overthink the process or you
Yeah.
overthink the lighting, you overthink what you're saying, you overthink
Yep.
what you're doing, and then you don't post it at all.
Right.
So I am speaking to myself when I'm saying this to y'all. Don't overthink the process.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just got to pick easy stuff to create. You know,
Yeah.
if doing a bajillion transitions is not your thing, don't do
Right.
it. If
Right.
dancing is not your thing, you don't need to
Exactly.
create and do things that are not true to who you are. People that
Mhm.
know you are going to call you out on that. So stick to
Exactly.
creating the way that you feel good, the way that makes you feel inspired, that makes you feel good. So don't overthink the process.
Absolutely. I love that. And I do feel like we've shared a lot today. We've shared a lot of ideas. And a big mistake I see is like you said, people just are they might be trying everything when you really just need to try one, two, or maybe three types
Mm-hmm.
of content and just get really good at it. You don't have to
Yeah.
try and do all of the things. You can just be really good with your reels or just be very active on Instagram stories and in your DMs. Like those are my two big things, reels and stories. That's
Yeah.
most and I guess I do a live once a week on Instagram, but like that's it. I know I mentioned TikTok, but I'm not trying to do all these things over on TikTok. I'm not trying to do all these things everywhere else. I'm like, let me get good at a couple different things and just
Yeah.
be really consistent with it. So that's
Yeah.
a mistake I see is people just trying to spread themselves a little too thin.
Yeah. Another mistake I feel like is just focusing on selling. When I
Mm-hmm.
feel like anytime I watch somebody and it's just like buy, 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 sell, sell, sell,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
get my stuff. It feels so salesy that it almost
Mm-hmm.
feels like ick. You just
Right.
don't want to be a
Get
part
the
of
ick.
it. Yeah. Block. No, but you want, not only do you want to see what they do or what they
Mm-hmm.
offer, but you also want to
Mm-hmm.
see their personality. You want to see a part that you can relate to. I gravitate to entrepreneurs that are positive, that are uplifting, that are
Mm-hmm.
wanting to encourage and empower other entrepreneurs. Like,
Right.
but I won't see that if you're always just trying to sell to me. So show
Yeah.
people more of your personality, who you are behind what you do.
Yes. And that's so good because I feel like personally, I share a lot of different types of content on social. The highest engaging content is probably like personal stuff in my Instagram
Yeah.
stories, like
Yeah.
going to the farmer's market or playing games with my kids or, going to the grocery store. Like people are so interested in that. And so when I do infuse different like offers or value, like when I'm sharing a few bits of my life in different areas, it's like people feel like they know you, they trust you. They don't feel like, oh,
Hmm.
she's just selling something or she just wants this or all she does is watch Love is Blind. Like you are more than you are we have variety in ourselves, we have variety
Yes.
in our personality, we have a lot to offer, we have a lot of places that we can be connecting with people. Like for
Hmm.
example, I started doing like time lapses of me making pancakes on Sunday mornings after breakfast. And people are like, oh my gosh, can I get your pancake recipe? And this and that. And I'm like, those are little seeds that are being planted. And so they're keeping me top of mind when they might be looking for a
Yeah.
brand photographer or something like that. They're like, oh, I forgot Angie was making pancakes last week. Let me ask her about my lighting situation or, what
Yep.
location I should shoot in. So I feel like just bringing in parts of you, like you said, in addition to what you're offering, can make really all the difference between somebody booking you and going with
Oh
somebody
yeah.
else.
Most definitely. I
Mhm.
don't know how long I followed you before I took your course. But
Uh-huh.
I fell in love with not only what you were doing, but the person
Uh-huh.
that you were. I was just like, oh,
Oh,
okay. I,
you're
I can
sweet.
learn from her. I like her. Because like, let's face it, there are so many people in every industry, in every
Yes.
niche. You're
Yes.
going to find someone that is going to speak to you, and those are
Hmm.
going to be the people that you buy from or that you interact with. So the
Right.
more relatable you are, think about it
Hmm.
like your relatability creates community. So
Right.
if you're not relatable, you can't create that community that you're wanting to like and be involved in, share
Right.
with, grow with, and all that good stuff. So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Especially speaking to photographers specifically, because when we work with clients, brand clients, like it's a relationship. We're
yeah,
onboarding them, we're doing Zoom calls, we are getting to know their business, we're with them for hours on photo shoot day. It's a process. And you can't just not show your personality at all and
yeah,
expect people to want to invest in that relationship with you. What are they really
exactly.
investing in if they don't even know you?
Exactly.
So,
Like some people mesh well together.
yeah.
When I've had discovery calls where instantly I know I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a fun shoot.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so super excited. You
Uh-huh.
just, but they had already got a preview of my personality on social media.
Exactly.
So they already knew what they were getting with me. So
Exactly.
yeah,
It does, putting yourself out there in that way does half of the work for you. It brings in
yeah,
the right people and it also repels the wrong people. And we
that
want
is
to
so
do
true.
both. We want to
Yes.
do both. We don't want to
Please
get
do it.
to a shoot and be like, oh man, I should have known this was a red flag. Like the more that you put yourself out there, people are going to want to work with you or they're not.
Yeah.
I have plenty of people who probably see my stuff and they're like, oh no, no thanks. And great, because we probably wouldn't have the best time together. So that's
Right.
great for the both of us.
Yes. Find your people. Not
Yeah.
everybody is your people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's okay.
And
Yes.
that's okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's finish with some encouragement. Let's finish with how like just kind of share any ways that we can encourage entrepreneurs who are listening to this and they're like, okay, this all might seem like overwhelming or I don't know what to start with. Like how can we send them off?
So sometimes we just all get in a rut. It just
Mm-hmm.
happens, right? So we gave you 10 different content ideas that you can create. Just pick one that's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Don't make it hard. And,
Mm-hmm.
I was telling Angie this the other day. I was like, I was just in this rut where I just could not create. And sometimes I just have to get out the house. I just have to get
Yeah.
out the house. I booked a studio and I was just like, I pre-planned exactly what I wanted to create. I
Nice.
picked the easiest things ever.
Uh-huh.
Nothing with a lot of transition, nothing where I had to overthink what I had to say, what I had to do. I picked easy stuff and I went outside, I got dressed and I just created.
I
Sometimes you
love
just need a little push outside the door to
it.
get, the
Mm-hmm.
creative juices moving. So
Uh-huh.
pick
Uh-huh.
easy stuff, get out of the house.
Yes.
That's
I
gonna be
love
my
that.
tip.
Get out of your comfort space. I love that. Just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, that's fun. I also think if I could give some encouragement, I would say that even if something doesn't do well, like it literally does not matter unless you're in the
Yeah.
numbers game and your revenue only comes from you reaching 10 million people. Like most of us are not. We just need a couple
Influencers.
clients. Yeah, we just need a couple clients a month in most industries that probably listen to this podcast. Like you don't need to have a million people you don't like watching your stuff, following you. Like you just
Yeah.
need to be speaking to the right people. And
Yes. Yes.
that could be a much smaller number than you think. So if you create this content and you don't get as many shares or saves or comments or whatever, but you're reaching a handful of people that you know are your ideal client, you should just totally be encouraged that you are helping
Yes.
someone. I always just say any piece of content, like if I'm helping one person with this piece of
Hmm.
content, then it has done its job. I don't care if I
Yeah.
get a lot of follows or whatever. That means nothing to me. And I've learned that more and more as, I've been in business because in the beginning stages when social media popped off, it was all about how to get more followers, how to get
Yeah.
more this. And it's like you can really get wrapped up into those vanity metrics, but it does
Yes.
not matter. It does
Yeah.
not matter because all those followers are not going to you don't even have a service that's going to help them,
Yeah.
10,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and then you'll get in your head that you're not
Hmm.
good enough. And then it can,
Yeah.
create all sorts of other additional issues in your creating mojo. It could literally, put you in a space where you don't want to create anymore. I heard this
Hmm.
one person say, like, all right, let's say, for instance, you are the physical reel. And one person claps for you in that room, then you're just like, oh, that's just one person. But if 25 people clap, aren't you going to feel good?
Yeah.
If
Oh
30
yeah.
people clap, if 40 people clap. So, think of it like that. It doesn't have to be thousands of people liking your stuff, or viewing your stuff.
Hmm.
Just continue
Yeah.
to create because not only that, when I go to people's feeds,
Hmm.
if I'm interested in you, I'm going through your entire feed. I want to look at what
What's your
all you're
highlight?
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to look at what you're doing. And if I see
Hmm.
that you're active on there and that you're,
Yeah.
engaging and stuff like that, I'm not looking about the numbers. I'm looking at the
Yes.
fact that you're, consistent enough to like show up and put yourself out there.
Exactly. Because it shows that you care and it shows that you are really trying to build something and trying to attract the right people. And when people see that, that increases that know, like, and trust factor. So if anything, I would just say for an encouragement, just like you said, get out of your head,
Yep.
create something, and don't worry about the numbers. Just worry
Yeah.
about the people that you're impacting
Yeah.
and the value that you're providing. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that.
And try something new sometimes. Get out of
Yeah.
your comfort zone and just
Mhm.
experiment. Just
Mhm.
experiment. Because there's like, if you asked me 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Sophie, you're going to do videos. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm never going to do that. But then I
Right.
started experimenting with it, and then I started
Mhm.
doing different things. Angie, there are some things that will never see the light of day because I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, that was a fail on my part. I don't want to show
Ah.
anybody that. But
Mhm.
it gets you into a path of like just practicing
Yeah.
whatever it is. So give
Mhm.
yourself permission to experiment. Give yourself grace to know that, hey, if this doesn't work out, that's okay. You just try something different.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Sophie, this is awesome. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
on and sharing
Thank
your
you for
expertise.
having me. I so
Yes.
appreciate it.
Where can my audience find you online and on social?
Online on my website, you can find me at sophiekHunter.com. On my social media, it's Sophie K. Hunter Photography. If it come find me, hey, we might have something to collab on. You never know.
Oh, I
So
love that. I love that. And then how can our audience connect with you even more? Can you have something you can share with us?
yes. So right now I have an opt-in. It's just a content calendar of ideas. It's by
Yeah.
the month, but a lot of these ideas you can do any month. It's not always like holiday related. I also do one-on-one content creation strategy
Yes.
meetings with people. It could be with
Yes.
photographers or any type of entrepreneur. So if you're just needing a little extra help on ideas and how to create, call me, hit me up, let me know because I love brainstorming for ideas for entrepreneurs. It's like my jam. I love it.
She's so good, and I say this as someone who has paid Sophie for her help before with brainstorming things. So trust me, hit her up if you're like, I need to take this to the next level, and I need someone to just like match my energy and see my vision and help me to come up with a plan. Sophie is your girl. She's your girl. Awesome. Well, thanks
Yes,
so much,
yes.
Sophie. Thanks for everyone for tuning
Thank
in. Make sure that
you.
you check out Sophie, and I will see you all in the next episode.
Yeah.